Mauricio Pochettino breaks Old Trafford hoodoo and reaffirms credentials as potential Jose Mourinho successor. For a man touted as a future Manchester United boss, Mauricio Pochettino had hardly covered himself in glory at Old Trafford. 4 Premier League visits, 4 defeats and not a single goal scored amounted to a dismal record at the Theatre of Dreams for the much-heralded Tottenham boss. But all that changed last night, as Pochettino masterminded his first win at Old Trafford and increased the pressure on beleaguered United boss Jose Mourinho, who was consigned to a second straight defeat. Amid Mourinho's current travails, Pochettino remains a potential successor to the not-so-special one, although prizing him from the vice-like grip of Spurs chairman Daniel Levy would be a big ask, even for a club of United's bloated financial might. But United continue to covet the 46-year-old, who has steered Spurs to second place and 2 third-place finishes in the last 3 years, playing an expansive, attacking style of football, at odds with the pragmatic and inspiring approach espoused by Mourinho. Yet when Pochettino had brought Spurs to United in the Premier League in the past, they had wilted, just as they did in last season's FA Cup semi-final against Mourinho's side, succumbing 2-1, despite having taken an early lead. Against that backdrop, last night was a huge test for Pochettino, even though all eyes were on Mourinho and whether he could secure the win he so desperately needed to halt the crisis that has engulfed him at United following the fallout from their abject 3-2 defeat at Brighton. Having failed to buy anyone in the close season, the first time a Premier League club has failed to add to their squad since the introduction of the summer transfer window, Pochettino found himself under pressure to hit the ground running. Victories over Newcastle and Fulham saw Spurs make the perfect start, although last night's trip provided Pochettino and his squad with their first proper test of a season of huge expectation, one they ultimately passed with distinction. Yet Spurs were forced into a policy of containment in the first half, as United dominated and laid siege to their goal, although the home side were unable to turn their superiority into the hard currency of a goal by the break. It took the visitors until 5 minutes before halftime to register their first effort on target, a tame effort from Christian Eriksen which proved no trouble to David De Gea. Spurs got sight of the United goal again moments later, their failure to take advantage of the opening causing Pochettino to aim a frustrated kick a cluster of water bottles behind him, almost causing him to fall over in the process. But any frustration Pochettino felt was erased 5 minutes after the break, when Harry Kane pulled away from Phil Jones to meet a Kieran Trippier corner and plant an unstoppable header beyond the reach of De Gea. United were stunned, but were left reeling 2 minutes later when Spurs doubled their lead, Eriksen beating the offside trap and cutting the ball back for a Lucas Moura's clinical first-time finish low into the net. The 2-goal blitz prompted an immediate change from Mourinho, who brought on Alexis Sanchez for Ander Herrera in a desperate bid to rescue the game. But it was too little, too late, as Spurs maintained their 100% start to the season and United's problems deepened.